begin our argumentative writing unit, we'll take a look at the concepts of logos, ethos, and pathos. Back in the day, Aristotle called these the three appeals, and you can use all three of these techniques to get your audience to see things your way. Let's begin with a quick overview of all three of these terms before we dive in deeper to each one.
The three persuasive appeals: logos, ethos, and pathos. 2,300 years ago, famous philosopher Aristotle argued that there were three ways to persuade someone. And these three persuasion appeals are the same modes of persuasion used today by politicians, advertisements, and public speakers alike. The first persuasive appeal is logos, or logical appeal. Logos is persuading by appealing to one's logical side through reason, often through facts, statistics, charts, and graphs. The second persuasive appeal is ethos, or credibility appeal. Ethos is persuading by establishing that the persuader is trustworthy, often through showing where one's information came from or by using an expert or testimonial. The last persuasive appeal, and often the most effective, is pathos, or emotional appeal. Pathos is persuading by appealing to one's emotions and by creating an emotional response, such as sadness or happiness. It is also important to note that good persuaders keep in mind the target audience when using logos, ethos, and pathos. This is called audience awareness. After all, it wouldn't make sense to show a toy commercial during a late-night talk show. In the end, it's important to use a balance of all three persuasive appeals. This will keep your audience engaged while keeping their trust in you. So next time you're aiming to persuade someone, use all three persuasive appeals. Then you can tell everyone you're cool like Aristotle.
Now let's go into each of the appeals in a little bit more detail and talk about how you can use them in your writing to persuade your readers. Our first appeal is logos. This appeal has the author using their brain. Most importantly, the author will use evidence to support their points. They're not just screaming their opinion, they're using logical reasoning and presenting it in a way that makes sense. Remember, you're not just arguing, you're explaining why your argument is sound. To do this, you should include facts and stats. This will give your readers concrete evidence to support your claims. Next up, we have ethos, which shows your readers your credibility. Ethos is about more than just ethics. Yes, you want to show that you have good character, but you also want to show that you are a credible source who is both competent and believable. To use ethos in your writing, make sure you consult an expert. If possible, consult various experts. If you yourself are not an expert on your topic, look at sources whose authors have the education, experience, and background that makes them an expert. This is especially important when you're doing internet research. Make sure you go to the About page or Google the author. Lastly, we have pathos, which is the heart of your argument. This one is perhaps the most powerful because it appeals to your readers' emotions and should reach them at a personal level. To use pathos, try to tug at your readers' heartstrings with a compelling story. Remember, there are a range of emotions. While a sad or heartwarming story is very effective, so are appealing to anger or fear. Use vivid, descriptive language. Give examples your readers can personally relate to, and when possible, remember that a picture is often worth 1,000 words. For your final project, you'll use the art of persuasion to complain about something that bothers you. After doing research, craft an argument that includes ethos, logos, and pathos. Keep in mind head, heart, and cred to pull in emotion, logic, and credibility. Good luck!